Hi, friends. Welcome and welcome back to another episode of Soulevision, episode 4. Episode 4. I'm so excited. Like, 4 whole episodes. Wow, that's a month of being consistent. I will clap for myself, and that's fine. So here we'll do affirmations. We'll talk about some deep stuff, some things that I think that your soul needs, some things that my soul has needed before, and then we'll get into some random, funny, quirky, fun fact, shower thought-ish stuff. Get into the lesson I learned this week and then the challenge for this week, and we're gonna close it out. I feel like I just want to give you that just in case you were wondering. I'm so excited. I really love this. So tell your friends to pull up because, your friend's not pulling up yet, and it's fine for right now, but I'm going to need your friends to just pull up. I would like that. Comment below how you feel about this podcast so far. I'm loving it. So without further ado, let's get into the affirmations. These affirmations, I want you to say them with me. I'm going to do a little pause right after so that you can say them with me. We can both be affirmed. I'm just going to keep that. We can both be affirmed. I like that. And if you don't want to, you could skip. It's fine too. But watch the whole thing. I experience a beautiful existence with ease. I am favored by God. I am protected by God. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. I will hear the voice from the Holy Spirit within. I deserve great things. I attract great things. I deserve amazing things. I deserve every opportunity that comes to me. I have the happiness that I deserve. I have the life that I deserve. Clap it up. Those are some really good affirmations. Let me know what you think about those affirmations. I like them. I deserve great things. I attract great things. I deserve amazing things. Wow. I experience a beautiful existence with ease. Wow. Very shocked at myself. Very, very, very shocked. We have a good show today. I think every show is just going to be good. And I feel like I just wanted to say that because that's what people that have podcasts say. They say, we're going to have a good show today. And we indeed are. All right. This week's topic is very simple, but like complex. Like the simple that is like, we need more words to it. Like, could you explain a little more for me, please? This week, we will delve in, if you will, to, what did it just zoom into? Hold on. What's happening? It heard me say delve, and it was like, nah, we're gonna roll out. All right. This week, we're going to dive into finding yourself. Now, a lot of people, I don't have my ring on. A lot of people don't even realize that they really don't know their true selves. They don't know what they like to do. They don't know what they don't like to do. They don't know who they really are at their core. Because for the most part, most people are living lives trying to mend into someone else. So there are a lot of people, especially people pleasers, that are mendable at heart, so that means that they are able to, many people pleasers, or some people just in general, I won't even just say people pleasers in general, but find ourselves, themselves. I'll put myself in here too because this was me. Trying to attach myself to, at the time, my significant other. And for some people, you're attaching yourself to groups, cliques, friends, whatever, family members, and you were looking at them as your source of identity, and that's not okay. You're looking at them for your happiness. You're looking at them for so many things that aren't their job. So what that leads to is us being disappointed when this person doesn't meet certain expectations that we want them to meet, because you're expecting them to keep and make you happy every single day. When what you have to understand is that finding yourself leads to self-happiness. A lot of people don't know that. So when you find yourself, how to find yourself, let's go there. Finding yourself really is almost, it is in the healing process, and what needs to be done, oh my gosh, finding yourself is in the healing process, and what needs to be done while going through that process is spending time alone. Solace. Having a lot of solace. Is that how you use the word? I don't know. Spending a lot of time by yourself, figuring out what you really like, what you really don't like. Because if you were like me, you were caught up in what someone else likes, and you made that a thing that you liked, even though that really wasn't a thing that you liked. But you came and convinced yourself that you liked certain things, that you didn't like certain things, and it's just like, who are you then? Because if you know that this is something that you don't like, or maybe just something you're mutual or neutral, or maybe if it's something that you're neutral on, why are you all of a sudden liking it because this person likes it? I don't know. You just find yourself doing things that someone else wants you to do because they are your identity. And you probably don't even realize that you've done that, but you probably have. Back to my points, because I be forgetting stuff. A lot of us are or have been in relationships where we mend into the other person and put so much of our happiness on them. So if I can just speak for relationships, even friendships, because it just depends on how you see your friends, or any kind of relationship you have with anyone else, you either have to be whole separately or become whole separately. It's preferable to be whole separately and come together and want to be with each other, but not absolutely need each other to be happy, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying that you can't come into a relationship and you're not all the way whole and you haven't found yourself. I'm not saying that, because the way I had to figure it out is I didn't know myself. I wasn't a whole person. I was putting my happiness on someone else, and vice versa. And it was just through all the disappointments that had nothing to do with them. It had all the things to do with me and myself, and not being happy within myself and not being true to myself, that led to those disappointments. And then it also led me to realize, like, okay, I really need to spend some time alone. I need to figure out what it's like to be by myself. Though it is awkward, I used to go take myself on dates. I used to go just do random things by myself. And there were other reasons why I actually did that. It wasn't really 100% the goal for finding myself, but I end up finding myself in that process. Trying different hobbies, trying different things that I may or may not like, just to see what I like. Because at the time, I didn't know what I liked. I just knew what my person liked. I knew what my person didn't like. But what I liked and what I didn't like, if someone would ask me, because at the time I was a wife. At the time, I don't know how to say it, was being a wife and a mother, you just get lost in all that sauce. So when other moms would ask, like, what do you like? What are you into? What are your hobbies? It's just like, I don't know, like raising kids and domestic duties. I don't know, like, what else is there? And one day it just hit me, like, I just want to try stuff. So I just started trying stuff. So that's what I would say. Spend some time alone, learn what you do like, learn what you don't like. If you are, like I said, I was a mom, I was a wife, but if you have a taxing job, taxing task, business person, whatever it is, anything that takes up a lot of time and energy, and you put so much effort into those things that you forget who you are, okay? You put so much effort into those things, you forget who you are. When you have a lot on your plate, it just naturally happens. Like, you just get so engulfed into all the things that you have on your plate, that you forget, like, I need to take some time for myself before, one, I burn out, but like, two, I just forget who I am. Like, I forget who I was. Like, you will see randomly, like, have a reminder of like things that you used to do, and be like, oh wow, I used to really do that. I really used to enjoy that. Why didn't I do that anymore? Because you're so busy doing so much other things. Now, if that's your lifestyle and you have to stay busy, that's fine. But please find some time. This is your sign to take a step back and tap back into you. You've been running. Ooh, what did I say? Because it was good. You have to remember that you as a person are important. You are important. All those things that are in your life, yes, they are important, but you come first. You realize that after a while, you get so stuck into the regular day-to-day life that you don't find joy in things anymore. And it's because you haven't taken that step back. So this message would either be to find yourself or tap back into who you used to be, or who you are, or who you want to be. It really just depends. I saw something the other day, and it says that if you see something in someone and you admire it, 9 times out of 10, that's something that's within you that you may want to try to tap into. They didn't say it like that. I just said it like that. There are times when you are watching someone do something and you are admiring it and you like what they're doing, and you're like, I wish I was more like that. Chances are you can be. You just have to work that muscle and go for it. I mean, finding yourself is not a comfortable zone to be in. So you always going to have to step out your comfort zone no matter what. You don't even realize the things you stop doing while on your journey to be better at other things. You don't do hobbies. You don't do things that make you happy. You don't rest. You don't take walks. Whatever things that you used to enjoy, you don't do things you enjoy. That was just all over the place. We get so caught up into being everything for everyone and always being in the mix that we forget about ourselves. We are the most important. I said that already. You have to start filling your cup because you've been giving from an empty cup for way too long. I think finding yourself leads to a better relationships and a better quality of life altogether, because then you're able to know for sure, like, this is a hard no, this is a hard yes, this, I don't like this, I like that, this is what I like to do, I don't want to be around these kind of people, I don't want to, like, your judgment changes because you know who you are. You found her deep down, you deep down in whatever crevices that you left yourself in. You water her, you give her some food, you know what I'm saying? Give her some rest. Ask her what she likes to do, figure it out. If you don't know what you like to do, just figure it out. And that sounds very easy, but like, just know that this part of the journey isn't going to be easy. No parts of the journey is easy, but once again, worth it in the long run. One thing I did learn, if you are a mom and you are a wife, because that's the only way I can speak on it, one thing I did learn or see is that a lot of moms, they run into like a midlife crisis when their kids grow up, because they were so involved to the point where they just, self didn't matter. It was just the kids. And I feel like that's fine, but I don't want to have to go through a crisis. I want to be able to have that be a smooth transition. And I don't like the thought of neglecting myself for 18, well, technically, 24 years? That doesn't sound healthy. Like, that doesn't sound healthy. And that doesn't sound healthy for my kids. Like, I get some people can really be happy with having the kids be their whole entire life. But for me personally, that's just not how I am able to operate. And that's just a personal opinion. That's a personal whatever. So if you decide that that is a life that you want to live, that's fine. But a lot of people don't realize how they're operating on the scarce resources that they have in their cup little bit of juice, the little crumb that's in your cup, you don't realize it until you're very old. And it's just like, what do I do now? And I mean, it's possible to do all these things when you're older, but I think that it's key to have it when you're young. Once you know yourself, you know, like I said it already, but you know, you have a better, your discernment tool will be stronger because you're not confused. You're not easily persuaded by peers or anyone that is trying to peer pressure you into doing certain things or be around certain people or just society. You're not easily rattled because if people talk about you, you know who you are at the core. You know what kind of person you are. You know who you are. And I think that's beautiful. And I think the journey of finding yourself is a very, very long, probably lifelong journey, because there are always new things that come up that you learn about yourself, and you either choose to unlearn it or strengthen that skill. It really just depends on what that looks like for you. This is, once again, I feel like I say this every episode. It's a personal journey that is personal to you and who you want to be. Now, on the topic of who you want to be, I think this is, for me, the way I see it is like a true deep a true analysis of yourself, but it's also like a Build-A-Bear for your personality or your traits that you want to have and traits you want to let go. Now, here's the challenging part, because I don't really like talking about this part because it is all relative, but you have to make it feasible for you. Like something, you have to figure out what you truly want outside of materialistic or trying to be like someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can pull traits from other people, but if you're trying to be like a specific person, then that is not this journey. This is not the journey for you. But if there's certain traits about yourself that you don't like and you want to be the opposite of that, I feel like that's where the Build-A-Bear comes in, because you get to build and put pieces and spaces that are missing in your personality or in your true self that you want to be. The journey to finding yourself also involves figuring out what you truly value, what is very important to you, and pursuing those things as well. I guess you can really honestly start by asking yourself, who do you want to be? But who do you want to be with who you are right now? Like, the things that you don't like, how do you want them to look once you're done? Work towards that. The things that you do like, how do we enhance this? How do we go deeper and make these things stronger? The things that you don't like, you're also going to probably have to pinpoint why and figure out how you can do better at those things. You can even go back, not into your true childhood, but like a time where you felt you liked how you operated before anything or anyone tarnished you and made you be a certain way. You can look back at that person, take some things from that person, add them back to who you are now, because you healed from the things that hurt you. And I think that's a good thing, because there's a lot of things that I used to do that I don't do anymore, and it's kind of hard to start doing those things again. It's like a process to be able to start doing those things again, but I'm mindful of what I want it to look like. Even though I'm here, I'm making little steps. You make little steps, you make little goals in order to get to where you want to be in each aspect of your personality. I'm gonna say personality, who you are as a person. You can look back, and if you ever had a thought like, oh, I love when I used to be able to do this, or I used to be able to do this without fear. I used to be able to do this without fear. I used to be able to do this without thinking about what anyone thought about me, so on and so forth. That could be one of the things that is really like who you are and who you were before someone broke you down. The journey of finding yourself, essentially, in a part, is being patient with yourself, being patient with how you are operating, and it kind of gets on your nerves because you want to get rid of the bad things that are in you. When I say bad things, I don't mean like you're a terrible person, but certain traits that you don't like about yourself. So you want to get rid of the traits that you don't like. Most of the time they're caused by the world or people, and how people tarnish you. Basically, people made you not want to do the things you wanted to do because they had opinions on it, they wanted to speak on it, they just made you think negatively about it, so you decided to not do it. That's my guess. That's happened to me. That's my guess. If that's the same thing for you, let me know down below. You want to be patient with yourself because you've been operating this way for a very long time, and it's going to seem disheartening when you're on your journey to be better and canceling out the things that you don't like. That negative voice, if you already have that negative voice is going to be louder, and you just have to fight that negative voice. That's also going to calm down that negative voice. You have patience. You reassure yourself that you are doing the best that you can, and you will for sure cancel out the things that you don't like about yourself and just build on to great. So basically, finding yourself, you're trying to have an all-around personality that you like, that you admire. Because I think that people say that you should love yourself exactly how you are, which you should. You should love yourself. You should love all your flaws. But also, you have to realize that you do have certain flaws. You have to understand and take accountability for your flaws, the flaws that you do have. But you also want to not have those flaws anymore, right? So you want to get rid of said flaws. Flaws, there's a grand spectrum of flaws that, once again, relative to you and how you operate. My flaws might not be your flaws. Things that I just don't like about myself, that I don't like certain things about myself because those things that I don't like were caused by other people. Let's see if I can explain this properly for once and for all. Things that I don't like about myself are certain thoughts that I have about certain things that I used to enjoy. Now, those certain thoughts that stop me from doing the things that I used to enjoy come from outside people having opinions and commenting on what I do. That makes sense? Or what I have done. That makes sense? I hope it does. So I just don't like that negative voice in my head whenever I do anything, because people just give their opinions on any and everything when it really shouldn't be. Like, the opinion really shouldn't matter, and it shouldn't have been said ever, but people just give their opinions. So like, what I'm unlearning is worrying about people. So I don't worry about what people think of me as a person, but I worry about my physical actions on an everyday basis. Finding yourself could also include checking in with yourself, checking in with you, how you're feeling. I think that's the hard thing, because some of us can't pinpoint why we're feeling a certain way or how we're feeling a certain way into words. That's very hard. And I think that comes with paying attention and focusing and really just practicing trying to express how and why you're feeling a certain way. It's going to feel ridiculous, but I think after time, it should come. This is something I don't know for sure, because I'm really still going through that, which I can understand behaviors and why they happen or how they happen or where they stem from, but I can't exactly pinpoint the specific emotion. I know the ballpark of emotion, but I can't pinpoint the specific emotion. Finding yourself leads to your self-happiness, but it also leads to your self-love, accepting who you are as you are, how you operate, all those things. And I think that a lot of people lack self-love. Now, it's confusing for most because they think that I accept my body and I can show my body. That means that I love myself. But loving yourself is loving exactly what's in the mirror, regardless if you work out, regardless if your body looks different from how you you're used to it looking. And I feel like a lot of people put their worth and their love once again into other people. They seek validation from other people. They are just lost out here in the world. They don't know who they are, fishing for compliments, fishing for people to see them, look at me, choose me, pick me kind of people. There are a lot of people that are thriving off of the validation from others versus the validation that they should give themselves. So, like I've already said on this podcast, the validation from others only lasts for so much. But when you have a person that is seeking validation almost continuously, they can mistake that for self-love, but don't realize that they are needing someone to tell them that they look this way and how attractive they are. And in order to keep getting that, they act in ways that require that kind of attention. You get what I'm saying? So when you out here and you don't love yourself, you put yourself in situations, you wear certain things, you act a certain way in order to get attention from whoever you want to get attention from. That attention translates to validation. That validation makes you feel worthy. It makes you feel like a woman or a man. It makes you feel like you are powerful in this sense. And you run with it. You run with the person that gives you the most attention, regardless of how they treat you or whatever. You're in this relationship, you don't know yourself, you don't love yourself, you don't really value yourself. You value how they value you from what they say to you and how they make you feel. But you don't realize how lost you are. I don't know. I just want everyone to start loving themselves, how they are, who they are. Compliments are great. I will not say compliments aren't great. Compliments are great. It's amazing. Like, I think everyone deserves to be complimented and to feel that feeling when they're complimented. But when that is your full source of feeling worthy, then that's where we have a problem. Because when you don't feel worthy, you be doing any and everything just to make someone make you feel that you're worthy versus you feeling like you're worthy within yourself. So back when I was younger, for sure, doing all the things, not loving myself, I guess I wasn't up on game. The first guy that gives me attention, you can have me. And that's just how it is. Like, and it makes no sense. But if I don't love myself and I don't think that I am beautiful and I don't think that I am worth or worthy, then I'm just going to give myself to anybody that gives me the slightest little bitty compliment that they're probably giving to any and everybody else. So yeah, like I said, people are finding their worth in others. People are doing whatever they can to be seen and to be chosen, and don't realize that you need to choose yourself first. Spend time alone. Figure out who you really are, because that is important. That'll keep you out of these situations. I just wish everybody loved themselves so they wouldn't be falling in the traps of these people or these kind of people. You find yourself doing stuff that maybe it's not something that you wouldn't imagine doing, but it's like you are out here in the deep end. And you don't got to be in the deep end. You could be in the 2 feet with everybody else. All right. So this part is connected to the deep part, but it's just like a little bit of encouragement on your journey. So if you find yourself feeling lost, it's okay and absolutely normal. It's so crazy that you can be on a journey to find yourself and then be lost because there's just so much. And I want to say that is normal. That is normal. That is normal. Because you are unlearning things that you don't like. In order to get rid of the things you don't like, you challenge them. You put yourself on many little challenges. You set certain goals with those little challenges in order to get to where you feel like you want to be. You figure out where you want to be first, and then you make little challenges that challenge yourself to be a better version of who you want to be. It's going to be uncomfortable. That's just how it is. But the quest to finding yourself becomes fun and worthwhile. If you're feeling disappointed at little things someone does, or you find your complete source of happiness comes from others, this is your sign to find yourself. Go look for that young man or woman or non-binary being because they're down there somewhere and they are just there with open arms waiting for you to pick them up and love and accept them for who they are, and then work on certain things that they need to work on. Little baby challenges, I think, and that's what we do at the end of each and every episode. Those little challenges, I think, will help aid and abide. I don't know, help aid you on this journey to finding yourself. I feel like I'm everywhere and all over the place for this episode, but finding yourself has a lot of meat and a lot of layers to it. But let's spend that time. All right, so we are gonna get into our next segment, and this segment is titled, "What is a really weird fact that makes people say, quote, why do you know that?" End quote. All right. Octopuses are usually very antisocial, but when they're under the influence of ecstasy, they are more willing to spend time around each other or even hug other octopuses. Who's putting octopuses on ecstasy? Scientists really just be in there like, I wouldn't say BSing, because I know all scientists don't be BSing, but some scientists just be in there like playing pranks and stuff, because why are octopuses on ecstasy? But that makes sense. Like, you put a human on ecstasy or even alcohol and they just become friendly. But octopuses hugging each other, that's a sight to see. Do I want to look it up? No. Yes. Octopus hugging. They got fictional octopuses. Anywho, when you are starving and have little body fat left, your body can grow almost fur-like hair to insulate itself in absence of fat. Huh. Interesting. Cheetahs are so genetically similar that supposedly you can draw blood from one and inject it straight into another one without any health issues in the receiving animal, i.e. no blood type or clotting factor variations. Huh. Okay. Coca-Cola can help with blood stains. Yeah. Why do you know that? It makes a blood stain much tasty. Okay, all right. Guinea pigs average pooping around 100 times a day. Dang. 100 times? Well, they lucky because they don't got to go to the toilet. They just poop wherever they go. Middle school teacher, still on the guinea pigs. Middle school teacher kept a chinchilla in a cage in her room. One day it got out and we found it by just following a trail of poop. In Phoenix, Arizona, you're legally allowed to bury a dead body on your property without asking for permission or getting a permit. You need a permit to bury a dead body? I did not know that. The city asks that you contact them beforehand so they can send someone out to stake for gas or electric lines, but it's not required. Why is that legal? Who put what? Oh, gosh. If provided a mirror, dolphins would admire their own genitals. Dolphins they be raping. I don't like that. Your body's normal functions can slow down to accommodate organ disease. For example, I have 40% lung function and my O2 is completely normal at 98% saturation. They didn't discover any lung disease until I had a CT scan for other reasons, and my lungs happened to show up in that. That's interesting. I'll say that's interesting. Cuttlefish mating is fascinating. The females all hunker down while the big males fight each other for a chance to copulate. Copulate. Y'all have to deal with this word. While the big tough males are duking it out, small males will kind of pull in their tentacles to look like females, sneak past the fighting males and mate with the females. Interestingly, female cuttlefish have some control over which sperm makes it to the eggs and overwhelmingly choose the cunning small male sperms over the big brawny males. Imagine these big guys are fighting for their chance to mate, and the little guys sneak. They push in their tentacles to look like females, sneak past them, and do all the mating. And they prefer them. The female cuttlefish prefer the smaller guys over the big brawny guys. Because the big brawny guys, in human sense, have egos that are very big and huge and want to show off. When a little guy's like, hey, ma, let me, I really like you. You beautiful. I want to take you out. I want to get to know you. The big brawny guy's like, yeah, you, me, mate, now. That's scary. If you ever spill bleach on your skin, the slippery feeling you feel when you wash it off is because you have basically made soap by dissolving the top layer of skin. That's wild. You're done. It really do be slippery. Wow. I thought bleach was just slippery, not my skin peeling off. On to the next. Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire at the exact median day of his life. He had a literal midlife crisis. Wow. Who clocked and counted that? I don't know. A few days ago, someone told me that Swiss cheese and plastic explosives look the same under a TSA radar. That makes sense, because Swiss cheese don't be melting. Is probably, well, if it was explosive, then I don't know. Swiss cheese don't seem safe, though. It don't seem safe. If you curl your toes, your gag reflex will sort of minimize. Okay, we got to try that. We're going to have to try that. I've heard squeezing your thumb has the same effect. I did hear that. I heard that. I'm sorry, I keep hitting this mic. I heard that doing this, I think it's your dominant thumb, does. It works sometimes. Sometimes it don't. So I just don't do it. Locked-in syndrome is a scary condition where you are conscious while in a coma. I would not like that. That is not cool. That's not comfortable. Because you can hear everybody talking around you, speaking of your diagnosis, and Lord knows if they're not sugarcoating it because they think you can't hear it. And if you got people that secretly don't like you and they at the hospital talking bad about you and they think nobody can hear them, then that is scary. Like being able to hear someone and you're trying to speak. Are you going to be trying to speak to them? Is that part of the consciousness too? Are you going to be able to try to speak to them, but they're not going to be able to obviously know what you're saying because you're in a coma? That's scary. Only reason we know about a lot of drowning victims is because new shoes float better. Don't they still float? The body still float though, even without shoes? Answer that in the comments. A cow is more aerodynamic than a Jeep Wrangler. Wow. How though? How? We're gonna look it up. Nope, not on that tab. So how is a cow more aerodynamic than a Jeep? It just says more aerodynamic than most cars. Can't find anything. But one thing I do know, and that's a fun fact, is Captain Crunch's, yes, on the cereal, his real name is Horatio Magellan Crunch. Horatio Magellan Crunch. I learned that today. And that's crazy. Because one, why does he have to have a real name? Why can't be Captain Crunch? But Horatio Magellan? Why? I don't know. Next fun fact. The Guinness Book of World Records was created to settle bar bets. I can believe that. Red phosphorus was discovered by a scientist after he boiled his urine for months on end, trying to harvest the gold in his pee. After months of boiling his urine, it dried up and turned into red phosphorus. He won a Nobel Prize for this discovery. What? Being skinned alive doesn't kill as quickly as you think. When done carefully, the victim may not die of blood loss or shock, but rather Hypothermia. Some account record that people have survived for several days. Bonus fact. Supposedly, Saint Bartholomew was skinned alive for converting a king to Christianity. He is often depicted with exposed musculature and carrying his own severed skin. He is also the patron saint of many different things such as butchers, leather workers, tanners, and dermatology. All right. Okay. All right. Sharks are older than trees and the rings of Saturn by about 100 million years and 350 million years, respectively. Also, Saturn's rings are not really that old in the grand scheme of things anyway. I'm just throwing my own fun facts in there. I learned that when people say it's going to take light years for certain things to happen, a light year is referring to, I can only give an example, I can't explain it. So when things happen in space, it takes a year to show up for us. So like if a star dies in space, it takes a year for us to see that it died. So that's a light year. Like it takes a long time for something that small to show up to us. Sometimes it takes longer. It's just not just 1 year, 365 days, but it just takes a long time. That's how it shows. Okay. It shows how far we are from stars in space because it takes a year for us to see what has happened over there. Let's go to the next topic. We have 37 minutes and 1 notch of battery. All the continents are very big islands for show, and they come together. Literally, I did get this confused in school because I was like, those definitions are the same. Like, a continent is just a big, big island, but it's surrounded by water. It's one piece, right? I don't know. Fish can't see water. We can't see air. And that's what we are surrounded in 24/7. I also wonder if just like how fish are below us technically, like we're looking down and seeing fish, and we know that we're in air and we know that they're in water. We both can't see the elements that we're in. But I wonder if we are a pond of some sort of gust of air to someone else looking over us. Like the dimensions of life, I guess you could say. Minor interruption. Let's go. I feel like I've read these. We're going to scratch this. What is something you say to scammers instead of hanging up? I tell them my name is Billy Madonna and I drive a 93 Toyota. Don't know the name of that car. Then I start getting pissed when they tell me they can't give me an extended warranty on my car. I mean, why can't you? You called me and the machine said I can get extended warranty. That is false advertising. Let me speak to your supervisor. I can't drive anymore. Why not? Why not? Judge said I'll go to jail if I ever drove again after all my DUIs and running over that family. Keep making up atrocities until they hang up. That's a good one. When I'm not feeling creative, sorry, the camera just keeps dying. When I'm not feeling creative, I just tell the truth. Scammer, you bought tech support from us last year. Me, no, I didn't. Scammer, yes, you bought our tech support package. It's about to expire. Me, there isn't anything to expire, etc. They're not supposed to hang up, so they try for a long time before finally giving up. I regard wasting their time as a minor public service. I do the same with the your car's warranty people. Me, oh, which car? Them, what kind of car do you have? Me, I have a couple. Which one are you talking about just now? Them, we work with any car. Me, no, you called me about my car. You said the warranty is expiring. Check your list there. Which car are you talking about? This isn't a scam, is it? I learned they hang up immediately if you say a really exotic car or something really old. What's the stupidest thing that ever came out of your mouth? When the cashier said, hey, have a nice day, and I replied with, no thanks. Background, I wasn't thinking straight that day and thought they said, do you want a bag? Okay, understandable. Her, the twins are 3 years old. Me, both of them? Oh. We had a set of twins in our classroom, and once on their birthday party, I said, your brother got such a cool party. I hope yours is nice like this too, to one of them. And he was like, yeah, this one. 4-year-old me was not a very bright kid. Okay, you were 4. We get it. Watching the documentary The Last Dance, when a Kobe interview pops up, me, wow, they must have filmed this before Kobe died. My wife, yeah, obviously. In my head, I was wondering what 1 pound of water would look like in terms of volume. What I said out loud, however, was, how much does a pound of water weigh? A couple of months ago, I got up and drove to work as usual. Later, my girlfriend texted me from home to ask me if she had left her sunglasses in my car. I told her I wasn't sure, but she could grab my spare key and go check in my car, which I had driven to work. Wow. I was about 4 months into my current job, feeling confident, being fresh off the contract to hire, period. Now moved into a coveted full-time role. While walking back to my office from the morning Kanban? I'm going to put meeting. While walking back to the office for my morning meeting, I was stopped by my boss, head peeking out of the office. Boss, hey, the mediator, do you have a second? Me, for you, I've got lots of sex. Boss, wide eyes, mouth dropped. Lots of sex. Asked my friend how his mom was doing at his mom's funeral. An old friend's mom passed away recently. The next time I saw him, I gave a big hug and said I was sorry. He said she's a lot better now. There was an awkward pause before he corrected himself. She's in a better place. Oh, one of the stupidest things I said about someone's mom passing is, in high school, I was big on saying, like, your mom for everything, and I said your mom to this person, and, yeah. Obviously felt terrible. Very stupid of me. I caught myself and apologized, but so stupid. I don't understand why people place bets on who wins. Why not just place bets on who loses? Yeah, it took me a minute to register what I said. Edit. I honestly didn't expect this to blow up. The bet was just a simple football bet for who would win the match. One team was favored, so the odds weren't great. And that's when I said what I said. By picking a winner, I am picking a loser too. I hope that helps clear up any confusion. That's cool. All right, let's just go into the last 2 segments. What I learned this week. In this segment, we talk about what we learned this week, certain things that happened. What is one thing that you learned this week? Comment down below, and then I'll tell you mine. What I learned this week, and this is not a new occurrence, but this is something that occurred this week, and when I was thinking about what I learned, this is what popped up. Inconveniences happen. It's inevitable, but it's my reaction that sets the tone to see it through. Inconveniences on all spectrums across the board. They happen. It's going to happen. But it's up to me to make that choice to react in a way that doesn't put me in a bad mood or doesn't make me angry or very frustrated at what I'm trying to do, because that affects the quality of how I do what I need to do. Inconveniences happen all across the board. I learned to be more understanding and more empathetic towards myself and other people that inconvenience me. And I find that that helps keep me in a great mood, regardless of what is happening around me. This week's challenge. Now, this is what we're going to challenge ourselves to do this week. It could be the same challenge from last week. It could be another challenge. But for video purposes, I thought of another challenge. And most of the time, my challenges go into what I learned. So you can comment on what you learned and your challenge down below if you feel like you want to. I'm not going to force you. So for me, focus on reacting in a manner that allows me to stay calm and roll with the punches versus getting frustrated and angry. Because then I'll be focused on the frustration and not what I need to be doing. Because how often is it that we get something inconveniences us and we get upset and we just stay focused on that inconvenience versus like, all right, there's still other things that have to be done. Yes, it's natural and normal and okay to be frustrated and feel that frustration, but you don't stay focused on that frustration. And that goes for a lot of things in life. You don't focus on the negatives. You feel what you feel, and all right, that happened. Ain't nothing I could change. Nothing I could change about that. So what can I do next? What's the next step? We keep going. We keep moving forward. Rolling with the punches. Where did that saying come from? You rolling with the punches? We're looking it up before we close out. Rolling with the punches is from boxing. Move one's body away from an opponent's blows so as to lessen the impact. The term comes from boxing, in which a contestant shifts his body to the side so as to deflect the full force of the opponent's blow. Does that really apply then? Rolling with the punches, you're dodging stuff. But if you get punched a little bit, then are you rolling with the punches or are you just absorbing the punch and keep going? Let's see, how to roll punches. It's a video. How to roll with punches. It's on YouTube. Yeah, so you're blocking, you're dodging, you're doing this. This looks ridiculous on camera. But all right, that's my challenge. So that means that this episode is or has come to an end. I'm so excited. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Soulevision. I have been your host, Ashley Dukes. I hope to see you next time, and I hope that you're all okay until then. No, you guys stay okay, okay? Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Tell your friends, like, oh, this girl be talking about some stuff that, like, it really be helping me grow a little bit or whatever, and it distract me from stuff and, help me while I'm on my run or when I'm doing stuff. I really like the show. Tell your friends. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor, whatever it is, give it a rating and follow me on Instagram at Soulevision and TikTok at Soulevision. And until next time, guys.